Microsoft Word 2007 Using Graphics Part 1. You know, at some point we are going to have to get past just plain black and white, or okay, I'll admit it, even colored text on a screen. And we need to add some eye candy, something that can visually stimulate us as we read this document, whether it's a report or a book or whatever it is, even a letter. Having a picture or photo helps to visually enhance the point that you're trying to make. If you hang around me for very long, you'll quickly find out that I'm not very graphically inclined, which is why Word 2007 and the Office products really make my job a lot easier. Whether it's clip art or pictures, it's going to help me make it look nice. And then, you know, text boxes. Sometimes just letting the text lie down and just be there doesn't really work. Instead, why not make text a graphic element itself, and that way you can manipulate it, you can maneuver it. That's what text boxes allows us to do. We love word processing because it has taken what used to be just the realm of a typewriter and a letter and created almost desktop publishing with some of the things that we can do, especially in Word 2007. We'll go ahead and open up my customer response letter that I had created, and Jeremy is eventually going to get this letter once we've edited it enough and done some cool things with Word there. And so now we're going to add some maybe some drawings or drawings, as they like to say in England. Just love the way they say that, onto our environment. Well, the first one that we wanted to do was clip art. Now, if I had my letter open and the tab here is on home, you'll notice that it's got the fonts and the things, but to do anything with drawings or clip art or pictures or anything like that, you have to do the Insert tab here on the ribbon, on the Office ribbon. And here we can see your illustrations. And you got a lot of things: picture, clip art, shapes, smart art, charts. We'll see a lot of these. We'll take a look at these two primarily from this tab. And then, of course, we're going to take a look at the text box. We'll take a look at some of these others. We've already seen quick parts and some of the other things that we can insert. But let's start off with the one that's been around the longest, and that is clip art. Now, if we look at our letter here, let's say I wanted to say, well, you know, down here near Chris W., Acme Musical Instruments, let's say I wanted to add a little piece of clip art down here. So I come down here to the Acme Musical Instruments, and I come over here and I say to myself, okay, I want to do clip art. Now, when I click on clip art, it's going to open up our clip art task pane. Now, what am I going to want to do? Well, I'm going to find music type clip art. So I type in music. Now what it's going to allow you to do is you can search in selected collections. You can do all of my collections, Office collections, web collections. I mean, you can, you know, check just about anywhere that you want to go. So we'll say there, or you can just say click, you know, everywhere. Look everywhere for music. Anything that has to do with music. Now the results, you can have quite a few different things. If you click down here, you'll notice you got clip arts, you got photographs, you can do movie, sound, just about any type of media. Well, let's think about this. Don't think I want sounds. I don't think I want movies, but I do want clip art and photographs. And if you expand it out, it'll tell you the different types of clip art you can get, the different types of formats, things that you can do, just so you know. So we'll just say, we'll stick with clip art and photographs. I'll go ahead and click go. It's going to go out and search not only my local machine, but also out on the web, and it's going to go ahead and find all clip art that matches my search keyword phrase here, which is music. Okay, well, it looks like it's gone out and found a few things, and including we got a picture of multimedia. Here's the music. Now notice when I click on it, it tells you how big it is by default. This music one is a WMV file or WMF file, Windows Meta file. It's 263 by 262 pixels, and it's it even tells you the size of the file, which is going to be added to your Word document, so that you know you get some good information. You can also see that you have the down arrow. When I click on the down arrow, it says, what do you want to do? Do you want to insert it, copy it, delete it from your clip organizer? Do you want to create your own collection, like a music collection? We could do that. You can edit the keywords, similar style, preview the properties, all those kind of things, just by simply clicking on the down arrow if you want. Now we can also, of course, go ahead and move up and down here and find different, here's some photographs for the clip art. You got, you know, maracas there, somebody playing music. You got all kinds of stuff. Ooh, there's a cool one. It looks like a brass or brass instrument. That's the one I want to use. Also notice that you have a little, like a little world globe here. That means this is off of one of the either Office Online collections or one of the other web collections that you're using. Now if I just go ahead and click on this, it automatically inserts it into my document right where I had it placed. So I scroll down here and I went after the Acme musical instruments, incorporated, and you say, well, okay, Chris, that's great, but maybe I don't want it there exactly. Well, guess what? With any media, any visual, you're going to have the option to edit it. In fact, as soon as I selected on this and inserted it, you'll notice that, we have that, formatting tool that comes up for pictures. And so you can change things like brightness, contrast, you can recolor it, compress it, change it, change the style. And of course, all you need to do is take your mouse and wand over, and it will show you what it looks like when you do certain things to it. Now, in this case, we can say, well, that's kind of a little big, Chris. It's, this huge thing. So what if I want to resize it? Glad you asked. Two ways. One, you can take your mouse and come over here and select the anchor point here in the corner. Now when I do this and I click and hold and drag, it will keep the aspect ratio. In other words, the height and width will remain the same ratio as it was when it's this big as it is when this small, so it looks the same. So if I come down here and I make it this big, it looks like that. Now of course I can also resize it by utilizing the vertical and horizontal anchor points by clicking this, and now I can make it taller, or I can make it wider, things like that if I want to. Those are all things I can do. And if I don't like any of it, see up here, reset picture, it discards all the formatting changes you've made. So boom, it brings it right back to that. So I can go here and I can, scroll it down, click and hold it and make it smaller so it kind of fits in with where things are. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I can also move it. If I take this clip art and move it, I can move it to another place on my document if I want to. So in this case, I'll leave it right here. And I can also, maybe I don't want it, going left to right. If I take my mouse, I can change and rotate the position by simply coming up to the green anchor, rolling your mouse over it, and you can see it changes to the little rotate icon. If I click and hold and then move it, look at this. It's rotating. So I can rotate any way I want and show the different way that it's placed here. So maybe I want it to be up and down, so I can do it like that. Rotate it that way. Or I can, rotate it back, and so it goes up and down that way if I want. You got different ways of doing it. And then I can resize it this way if I want. So you can change the position and the look and feel of it by utilizing just some real simple clicking on the anchor points or the rotate. I'm going to go ahead and reset the picture, bring it back. And we'll go back and make it nice and small here, right next to Acme musical instruments. So now I've got my clip art. Well, that's cool. So that's all my pre-built clip art. But what if I wanted to add a picture that I already have taken, a photograph or something else? Well, I can do that. For example, Jeremy here, I talk about his brand new tuba. Well, let me go ahead and close my clip art task pane here. Come back up to insert, and let's say I want to insert a picture that I have of Jeremy's brand new tuba. So I said, hey, we hope this letter finds you in possession of a brand new tuba. So I'll go ahead and put my cursor there, and I want to insert a picture of the tuba I'm sending. Makes sense, right? So I come up here and I click on picture. Now when I click on picture, it's going to go out to my documents, or you can go out and check your computer or any network drives, your desktop, recent documents, and you can find a picture. Now in this case, I've obviously done a little bit of advanced work, and so I went out and found a picture of a tuba here. You can also open up all types of pictures, enhanced meta files, JPEGs, PNGs. I mean, whatever's out there, pretty much Word can accept it as a picture graphic. I usually go with just all pictures, so that way I can see any pictures that I have, whether it's a JPEG, a GIF, or whatever. I can choose any one of those and use it. So here's my tuba. So I go ahead and select my tuba. I come over here and I click Insert. Now notice the drop-down arrow. I can insert it, I can insert a link, or I can insert and link it to this particular picture. So that way if the picture changes, if I make any changes to the tuba, it will then update it. Kind of cool. But we'll just go ahead and click Insert, and now there we go, we've got my tuba. But holy cow, look at that thing. that thing's right in the middle there, and I mean all the text is going all kinds of loopy around it. I mean, this doesn't look real good. Well, relax, don't worry about it. What we're going to do is we're going to need to format this picture in how it wraps, or how text wraps around it. Because right now I put it here, and so it's this tall, so it, gave me space to show it, and then it pushed this out, and so that's what it's going to look like. If you look up here, you have the ability to change the text wrapping and the way it wraps around the objects. You can also change the position on the thing. If you click down here, you get the same thing with the text wrapping. You can make it in line with text. You can do it with the top left with square text wrapping. You can do it in the middle. You can do it over here to the side. You can't really see it there. You can do it here down below in the middle with square text, in the middle of the page. And this is obviously the position on the page itself. And you can see that, now it's in the bottom left. I can't even see it down there. Or I can even click on More Layout Options, which gives you the Advanced Layout dialog box. Now this, has to do with the position on the page. If you go to text wrapping itself, this is just dealing with, okay, you've placed it where you want on the page. Now how do you want it to deal with the text itself? In line with text, which is primarily the default. You can do square. You can do tight, behind the text, in front of the text. You have a lot of the choices. So when you select this and you come up here to the text and you say, I want to do it, tight or behind the text or whatever you want to do. So if I say tight, watch what happens. It moves it. And now the text kind of, as I like to say, it gets in and crowds into the picture. And so it's real close. But it still doesn't look too good. And I mean, it's still not exactly what I want. So I can come back up here and say, well, maybe I want it through the picture. So I click on it through. Well, that just kind of didn't do too much of what I wanted either. Or maybe I want it on the top and bottom. Okay, well, there's Jeremy, and then here's the text underneath. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Or you can even do it behind the text. Look at that, the text types right over it. Or if you want it free-floating, you can do in front of the text. Now what I can do is I can select the picture, and I can move it anywhere on the page, and it's placed over the actual text itself. So I'll go ahead and undo the move there, and undo the font changes here. You can do all the text wrapping or whatever you want. But in this case, if you want it tight and you want to adjust it, you can still do some of the formatting where I can say, look, I want to move it and change the size down just a little bit. So okay, that looks good, a little bit better. And maybe what I want to do is right now, it's placed here. Maybe I want to move it over here a little bit. See, as I move it, the text starts moving around the picture. So I can start placing it where I want. Hey, wow, this is looking a little bit better. You can move it here and make sure that it's on the tuba. Or if you want, you can just move it all the way over here to the side and check this out. Now, hey, that looks really good. Now the tuba is over there and you can see it, and the text kind of moves around it. And if you need to move it a little closer, it adjusts automatically to where you place it. So you can move the picture, and then the fonts, or the text is going to wrap around it. Now, obviously, I can tell you where I like to have it, and I like where it looks, but you might say, Chris, that looks horrible. I don't like it there. Hey, guess what? Hey, don't have to do it the way I do it. Do it any way you want. You can place it around the text, behind the text wrapping, and then, of course, you have the advanced layout position that you can do. So you do the layout options, and you can tell where the picture position. It's an absolute position. Do you want to move the object with the text, lock the anchors, put the layout in table cell, allow overlap? Under the text wrapping itself, you can do it on both sides, the left only, right only, the largest body of text, and select these. So these are just many different options on when you place your text around your picture. When you place your picture and you want text to go around it, you're going to use the text wrapping options. So far, though, what we've shown you whenever we use text is it's pretty much typed out onto the page, and that's where it has to sit, and it follows the style and the paragraph rules. But what if you wanted to place text just about anywhere you want and not have to worry about whether the picture wraps around it or not? That's where you can use what is known as a text box. And this is where the desktop publishing aspect really starts coming in. take a look over here under text box. You can insert not only pre-formatted text boxes, which we saw on the chapter on quick parts. So if I click down here, it's going to say, hey, do you want to do some built-in text boxes? You can use sidebars and all kinds of different things that you're looking at, and they've got some really cool ones, you know, about these text boxes that are going to be free floating. Or what I like to do is just draw my own text box. Now when I do this, it's going to come up, and you notice that my cursor has now changed to a cross there, a little plus sign, a little bullseye. Crosshairs, as some people like to call it. And so what I do is I click and I draw the approximate size of the text box that I want. Let's say I want to put a little a caption underneath that tuba about the tuba and who it is and, you know, that type of thing. So I release that, and you'll notice that the text box tools now show up, where I have the text box styles, and I can use some of the abilities to change it. I can add 3D effects to it, you know, whatever I want to do, rotate it, make a little cube. I can add shadow effects to it. You know, what do you want to do with it? And notice I'm, you know, moving the shadow effects on the text box. So I've got a lot of really cool features that I can use with text boxes that I can't do with just standard typed in text. Now you can format and do some stuff, but text boxes rock. I use them quite a bit because then I can choose where I want that text box to be. I can even make sure that there are no lines around it, but in this case we'll do it. So this case I'm going to tell everyone that this is a Wilson BB 3100. And now I want to place this text down here. Now inside, just so you understand, inside the text box, I can still make changes to the font, you know, maybe make it a brush script, or, you know, change it up to, you know, more of an Arial look. I can change the font size if I want, you know, on any of this. And let's say I want to make it a little smaller, make it 10. And now I can, you know, I've got the formatting on my text within the text box. Notice it doesn't affect any of the text out here, just the text within the text box that I've highlighted and used. Now if I select the box, you'll notice that I can, you know, select it, and then I can move it if I want, just by clicking up here and moving it around. I can also resize it by using the anchor points, just like I did before. So I can, you know, say, well, I don't need that big of a text box. Let's bring it down here. Oops, went a little too far. There we go. It's looking good. I'm just making adjustments. So now I have my little text box there. So now I can come over here and pick it up and bring it right over here on my tuba. So now it says it's the Wilson BB 3100. By the way, if I want to move this text box, I don't need to use my mouse. I can also use my keyboard controls. I got my arrow keys. Watch this. I'm clicking. You can hear me click. And see, it's, you know, moving it around, you know, Yahoo. Here we go. Wilson BB 3100. So now I've created this text box. And again, remember, this is a graphic element. Notice I still have the ability to do text wrapping, where I can wrap text around this box. You know, it's a graphic element. Where it's positioned, I can send it to the front, or, you know, bring it to the front of text, or send it behind text. You know, I can, you know, group these objects together. So all of these things that we can do are available to us. Now, if I wanted to make any changes to some 3D effects, maybe add some, I can scroll down here and say, wow, I want to change it to Wilson BB 3100, or, you know, change the effects. All I need to do is just simply click on whatever effect I want and then change it, whether there's a 3D different color for that particular one. It kind of shows you what the colors would look like. How deep is it? 0.36, 72, you know, add there. Direction, you know, you can add which direction it goes. You can do the lighting, you know, and this is kind of neat. It shows you where the light source is. I mean, how can you not love every single, you want it matted, do you want plastic, do you want it metal, do you want it to look like a wireframe? I mean, there are so many neat options that you can do with text boxes because, again, it's a graphic element. It's not just standard text that's typed on the page. Well, we got started on our journey here in the graphic world of Word 2007. We saw how we can use the simple clip art galleries that are available not only within Word, but also out on Office Online to pick some really neat artwork and stick it in there and manipulate it. We also saw we can insert any pictures we have. I mean, if you have scanners or cameras and you've put in some pictures that are graphic files, you can insert those pictures. Same thing, manipulate them. And then we saw how we can now take text and create visual elements is with the text itself and creating these text boxes which can be manipulated just like a piece of artwork, just like the clip art, the pictures, and the things that you'll see. Now there are also other cool things like word art and smart art and some things that we'll show you, but sometimes text boxes are very simple, very easy ways to enhance visually what you're doing in your Word document. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.